1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This week we're going to put the headlines aside, and until next week.
Ran, thank you so much for joining CEOwise. I appreciate it.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, in 1998, you learned a big lesson by starting the Wealth Maker, and you borrowed a lot of money, and then you went insolvent. What did that teach you in business? And tell me a bit about that.
So in 1998, I had this brainwave idea to start the world's and South Africa's first online stockbroking portal, which at the time didn't exist. I mean, I know today it sounds like
early days for that.
Yeah, today it sounds obvious, but at the time it didn't exist. And we had this amazing idea. We went out, we raised a whole lot of money from investors. And long story short, the internet bubble burst in 2001 or 2000. And when the internet bubble burst, so did our investment, and we lost everything. I was fully invested in the business. I'd been working there for 3 years. My life, my heart, my soul was in this business, and it was all gone. And I wanted to make sure that I paid all my staff enough money to survive, because they followed me almost like blind. You know, they followed me. They followed this vision that I had. And so I paid them as much as I could out of my personal savings until I got to a point where I was insolvent.
Sure.
So you asked me, what did I learn?
Yeah.
I have a theory that you only learn things in life from failure. You never learn anything from success. Success is evil. Success breeds arrogance and overconfidence. If you want to learn something, you need to feel the pain, and the pain will make you learn something. And let me tell you, I felt pain, and I learned a whole lot of lessons.
Sure. And then in 2001, you started the Creative Council with Gil Oved. Now, in a very short space of time, you became the biggest in-store promotions company in South Africa. How did you come up with that idea?
So it's funny when you're an entrepreneur, because what you do as an entrepreneur, you look for problems and you try and solve them. And the problem is that you see a lot of problems and you come up with a lot of solutions. And it takes you time to evaluate all these solutions. So I was looking at a whole lot of different business opportunities for as much as I could. And I had a girlfriend who was doing in-store promotions, and I saw her making money. And so I thought, hold on, if she's making money, and she's making money, and she's making money, and there are 5,000 other people making money, then there's a lot of money in this in-store promotion game. And I decided to start an in-store promotion company. The most important ingredient is desperation, because it's only when you're desperate, when you've run out of time and you've run out of money, that you've got to do something to make money. And that's what happened. We ran out of time and we ran out of money. So we had to do something, and that was Creative Council.
Wow. But in short, in 14 years, in 2015, you sold the Creative Council for over R1 billion. How did you get that rapid growth?
You say it's rapid.
Yes.
And yeah, of course, I'm very proud of the sale, but I don't think it's rapid at all. I mean, if you think about those days, we had no technology. There was nothing that allowed us to be exponential. There was no platforms that allowed us to be exponential, which means that we really had to work hard to make money, and the harder we worked, the more money we made. If you think about today, you've got all this amazing technology that allows businesses to become platforms. So you get businesses that are going from zero to $100 million and $200 million in a matter of weeks or days. I mean, if you look at the crypto world, these guys are raising $50 million in 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then at some point when you were flying high, making millions, you must have realized that something wasn't quite right in the company, and you got a consultant in. And at the end of the day, when the report came through, you realized, well, they told you that you were the problem. I mean, when it's your company that you built up, how do you deal with that?
Remember I said to you earlier that success breeds arrogance.
Yes.
So when you're young and you're successful, you think that you're above everyone, and that you're the king and you know what's going on. Invincible. I think that's a great word. Yeah. Now, we ran a business thinking we were invincible. We did it our way, and we made a lot of money, and we had a lot of happy clients, but we had a lot of unhappy staff. What we were doing is we were making people work harder, too hard, overworking them in a crazy work environment so that they could deliver for the company. And it made people very unhappy. And the consultant came back and said, look, I've now analyzed this company for 6 months, And I've got this report, and this big report. But the front page of the report said everything. The problem was the two CEOs. Our behaviors were wrong. We used to answer phone calls in meetings. We used to text in meetings. We used to work on our laptops in meetings. We used to eat in meetings. We used to be late for meetings. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
If you want to be a leader, you've got to act with leadership qualities, no matter how successful you are.
You're clearly a born entrepreneur. I mean, even from when you were 3 years old and selling merchandise to your neighbors. Now, for people that are in a 9-to-5, clock in, clock out, do you think entrepreneurship can be taught and learned?
I don't know if entrepreneurship is something you're born with or something you develop. I know for me, I was born with it.
Yes.
I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone. There are a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs because they see the success that entrepreneurs have and they see the freedom that entrepreneurs have. But what they don't see is everything else. So I always say entrepreneurship's like climbing a mountain. When you're on the top of the mountain, on that little like snow peak, you look at that and everyone says, wow, he's at the top and it's amazing. But boy, oh boy, I climbed for months and years to get there, and I was on the worst of terrains. And that's really entrepreneurship. Most people cannot handle entrepreneurship. Most people cannot handle not knowing where their money is going to come from at the end of every month.
Yeah.
Most people can't handle the pressure of having everything on their shoulders. So I think entrepreneurship's not for everyone. In fact, it's not for most people. And if you are a risk-taking individual who thrives on this adrenaline and is willing to take the chance, then you are an entrepreneur. And if you think you're an entrepreneur and you're still working a 9-to-5 job, then I call you an entrepreneur in the closet, and you should probably come out the closet.
Yeah. And try something while you're busy working.
No.
Not?
You're not desperate. You're not desperate.
Okay.
You need to be focused. You need to be desperate. You need to say that, if you're working and you're doing something on the side and it doesn't really work, you still got a job.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be the only thing you focus on every single day.
Wow, that makes sense. Cryptocurrency is a hot topic at the moment, and you host CNBC Africa's Crypto Trader, which is a weekly program on crypto investment. Now, tell me, it's very misunderstood by the majority, I think. So in a nutshell, what is blockchain and what is cryptocurrency?
So yes, we run the world's first cryptocurrency investment show. It's actually the only one in the world today. Cryptocurrency is the biggest disruption that's happened in our lifetime. It's a disruption that's bigger than the internet. I can't explain it to you quickly because I won't do it justice.
It's massive.
But what it actually means is it decentralizes the entire world and creates a world where you don't have central bodies controlling things, like Facebook, like YouTube, like the banks. And in fact, it's the fastest growing asset class in the whole of history.
Wow.
So a very exciting place. We're very proud of the show. We're a world first. We've got interest from all around the world, CNBC, USA, Singapore, and the show is really taking off.
That's amazing.
And that's Thursdays at 8:30 on CNBC, channel 410.
Don't miss it. How does Bitcoin get its value, and what affects the value of a cryptocurrency?
What affects the value of anything in life? Supply and demand. If there are more buyers than sellers, the price goes up, and if there are more sellers than buyers, the price goes down. So today, people want Bitcoin. Why? Because there's only 17 million Bitcoin in the world, and people want this as a digital store of value, something that can't be taken away from them. Like gold. Gold can be stolen from you or taken away from you. But Bitcoin can't be taken away from you. So people are storing their wealth in this thing called Bitcoin, which they can transfer from place to place very easily. And that's why people want Bitcoin, and that's driving the price up.
Okay. What's the difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, Ripple, and all the other cryptocurrencies?
That's like me asking you the difference between Google, Apple, and Microsoft.
Okay, so just different products.
They're just different things. They solve different problems. Each one has a very, very, very unique use case. Like Bitcoin is a digital store of value. Ripple is a system which allows banks to transact quicker across forex markets. Ethereum is a platform for what they call smart contracts. Each one of these fulfills a different topic. And again, I think the best place to get the information
on the show.
CNBC Crypto Trader.
Awesome.